Jay-Z never misses the chance to invest in a new company or product. Business Insider recently announced that along with the Saudi royal family and executives from Goldman Sachs and Twitter, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, Jay-Z, has invested in JetSmarter. Now, JetSmarter is a mobile app that lets you book a flight on a private jet with just a few taps of your finger. Here's the founder, Sergey Petrosov, explaining the company to Bloomberg last year.
Tell us the model for JetSmarter.
So JetSmarter is an app where you can go on and access the entire inventory of private aircraft around the world. There's over 3,000 airplanes in our app today. You go on. It's literally as easy as putting in your itinerary. You pick the exact aircraft that you want. You see real photographs. You see all amenities, insurance information, safety history. You press book, put in your credit card. It's all cashless, paperless. People say, wow. And they can't believe that you can book a private jet through an app.
It's always wise to invest in businesses and industries you understand. That's actually one of the key investment strategies of multi-billionaire Warren Buffett. Here's this idea in Buffett's own words from a sit-down with Jay-Z for Forbes.
There's a whole bunch of things I don't know a thing about. I just stay away from those. So I stay within what I call my circle of competence. And Tom Watson said it best. He said, I'm no genius, but I'm smart in spots, and I stay around those spots. Well, I try and stay around those spots.
It's obvious that Jay took Buffett's advice. After all, Hov does know a thing or two about planes.
Up in the clouds, me and my spouse.
It's highly unlikely that Jay-Z and Beyonce are up in the clouds courtesy of a regular plane ticket from Delta. He even told us so a few years back.
I don't land at an airport, I call it the Clearport.
Therefore, Jay definitely flies private. So, what makes JetSmarter such an attractive investment for him? One answer is that it's being called the Uber of the sky. You've heard of Uber. It's the app that lets you book a ride from drivers who use their own cars.
About to call your ass a Uber, I got somewhere to be.
Yep, that's the one. Thanks, Drake. Uber is known as the king of the unicorns. It has a valuation of $50 billion. Sheesh, that's almost as much as Warren Buffett's net worth. So what do Uber and JetSmarter have in common? Let's take a look. The most obvious thing that's the same about Uber and JetSmarter is that they are both convenient. They make life easier for their customers. Now, they don't have the same customers. Uber is targeted toward the everyday traveler who wants to get around their city without hailing a cab. JetSmarter is targeted toward the affluent. We're talking fairly rich people who probably make $250K per year or more. But regardless of income, both apps make travel planning relatively painless. Another part of the convenience is that both services are on demand. If you're trying to hail a cab in NYC, it's really a game of chance. You go out to the street and hope you find a cab that doesn't have any passengers in it and is willing to stop. With Uber, the car is ordered specifically for you and arrives quickly. It's the same story on the flight side of things. For a commercial flight, you would normally need to book anywhere from a few weeks to a few months in advance to get a decent price. Then you have to show up to the airport about 90 minutes early to check in and get to your gate. But with JetSmarter, an order can be placed up to 6 hours in advance. Petrosov told Business Insider, and I quote, "People fly private so they don't have to go through the airport. You can show up 5 minutes before the flight, park your car right next to the jet, and then just get on your flight." The second thing that both Uber and JetSmarter have in common is technology. They both proclaim themselves to be technology companies. Uber CEO Travis Kalanick has been vocal about this. He told CNN that Uber is a technology platform that connects riders and drivers. If you want proof of this, head over to Wikipedia. Uber's page says that it's a transportation network company. That means it's a company that develops a computing platform to create an online marketplace. This is simply logistics technology. Uber's data about who and where the drivers and customers are at any given moment is what makes it valuable to both sides. JetSmarter provides the exact same thing. logistics information. This is from their website. JetSmarter is a technology company. JetSmarter offers instant access to the largest mobile private jet marketplace. The mobile jet marketplace they offer to clients is created by their technology, their data intelligence. Here is Sergey again with Bloomberg.
We have over 3,000, not 39, 3,000 airplanes in our app today that are controlled by vendors. Vendors are like certified air carriers. Those certified air carriers, we connect directly to them through their scheduling systems, through GPS feeds, very similar to how ride-sharing apps connect to cars, right? So you can go through our app, and when you're searching, you're looking at real-time inventory. We're searching if that's available or not available. We know exact positionings of airplanes, and we know all the costs associated with flying. So it's really as easy as going into the app and booking.
A final aspect of similarity that we'll explore between JetSmarter and Uber is ownership. Neither one of these companies owns the cars or planes they use. But this is where slight differences begin to creep in. It's also why Uber gets into so much legal trouble. Uber doesn't own cars, the drivers do. But if Uber didn't exist, the cars they use would not be providing transportation services to the public. They'd just be everyday cars. Even on Uber's website, they appeal to potential drivers by saying, "Got a car? Turn it into a money machine. Drive when you want." Uber competes with taxis, and it competes by adding more cars into the paid-to-travel ecosystem. Taxis don't like this increased competition because it cuts into their profits. And governments don't like it either because, you guessed it, it cuts into their profits. The taxi industry is regulated. Drivers have to pay license and insurance fees. Uber does not pay these, except in California due to a recent law enacted specifically for ride-sharing companies. JetSmarter is a little bit different. They don't own their planes, but they also don't add any more planes to the sky. If JetSmarter didn't exist, the planes they use would still fly every day. What JetSmarter does is partner with private aircraft operators by either pre-purchasing flights or buying what the aviation industry calls empty leg flight time. Here's an example of an empty leg. Let's say a plane is in New York and someone has paid for a flight from Los Angeles to Miami. That plane will have to fly from New York to LA for free, just to make money from the paying customers going from LA to Miami. JetSmarter buys the empty leg from New York to LA for cheap and makes it available for purchase in their app. Pretty smart, huh? Now it makes sense why Jay-Z would invest in the Uber of the sky. Oh, and did we mention he uses the app himself? I'm Elise Howard for The Urban Coin. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more hip hop and business, man.